Hey guys, this is ASUS, and this is game number 2 between WhiteRa and LiquidRet from the ASUS Republic of Gamers StarCraft 2 tournament. This was held recently in Europe, so this is the ESL version of the Shattered Temple, hence no supply depot up at the front. WhiteRa is going to be spawning in the top location as the blue Protoss player, and right next to him in the rightmost position on the Shattered Temple, LiquidRet is going to be spawning as the red Zerg player. Looks like they may have switched colors from last game. Pylon going down up the front. This is really bold play on this map. WhiteRa going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand. This is really wide here, and it is going to be really difficult to hold off, especially without a high ground ramp. So we'll see if he's able to hold off any sort of aggression that may come out of Ret, but I think WhiteRa is just playing to what Ret does, which is get up a ton of drones early in the game and then try to win it in the later parts of the game. So WhiteRa is definitely playing to how Ret plays, making sure that he can get up a strong economy as well. Overlord is going to be scooting over here to see that WhiteRa has gone for this pylon on the low ground. We'll see if Ret decides to change things up and go for a faster speedling build to try to break this. Looks like no, he's going to be going for the spawning pool as usual, getting up the 2 additional drones right after getting that pool. And there's the Forge coming up for WhiteRa. Everything looks just about the same as the last game. We'll see if WhiteRa is able to come off with a win, as LiquidRet is already up 1 game in this match. Probe now headed down to the natural expansion. Looks like Ret will not have his hatchery blocked this game, but the cannon's gonna be coming up real soon. A bunch of pylons gonna be walling this off. WhiteRa trying to get up a perfect seal. Looks like it's not gonna work. He's gonna have to throw down a cannon as well. 3 pylons on the way for WhiteRa. He's trying to block that drone from coming down here. And it looks like cannons are coming up for WhiteRa right now. That's the first cannon. And he's going to try to force a cancel on this hatchery, and another cannon trying to come up. The probe does fall, so this may end this rush, and that would be 300 minerals wasted for WhiteRa. A couple of Zerglings also coming down the ramp. This will seal the deal, prevent this cannon rush from happening. WhiteRa going to be getting a photon cannon up at the front of his base, cancel down on that photon cannon, and that means 300 minerals wasted in here already. 2 gateways coming up, trying to seal this off a little bit better. The Zerglings are now arriving. WhiteRa is going to need another structure, and there's the pylon coming up. The probe is not enough to seal the hole, and the Zerglings are running by now. The cannon does get 1 shot off on that Overlord, but he's going to be okay, regenerating some health in the back. The Zerglings are parked at the natural expansion. That will prevent WhiteRa from taking his natural expansion without getting out a couple of Zealots. First, there's the cancel on the Vespine Geyser, so it looks like WhiteRa is going to be going Zealot for a little while. Looks like the gateways are actually rallied to go across the map. A couple of Zerglings out trying to chase away this probe, and the Queen knocking away at one of those pylons right now. LiquidRet's hatchery is about to produce yet another Queen. Chronoboost going down on the probes. The 2 Zealots are going to be popping out here, trying to advance across the field to do some damage. Ret just sitting inside of WhiteRa's main with a couple of injured Zerglings, trying to do some damage. But I think the probes are just a little bit too strong for only having 2 Zerglings remaining in here. The Zerglings are cleaning up these pylons, and the first 2 Zealots are headed across the field, and I think WhiteRa wanted to use those pylons sort of as blocks or walls to help those Zealots along, but with the Zerglings and Queens cleaning this up, it's not going to be a problem for LiquidRet now. The 2 gas coming up for WhiteRa, as well as the natural expansion on the way. The Zealots trying to come forward, but the Zerglings are too vast in number alongside of the Queens. It's going to be really difficult for those Zealots to do any damage here, but the Zerglings are being kited by those Zealots, and the Zealots are doing surprisingly well against this huge number of Zerglings. Those Zealots have killed their own worth in terms of Zerglings, and there's still 1 Zergling inside of WhiteRa's main. It has regained full health, and WhiteRa coming to the front. Looks like he will be walling this off soon. or not. There's just 2 probes at the front just in case, I guess. The second probe is going to be scooting out to try to do some scouting, and the cybernetics core now finishing for WhiteRa will begin chrono boosting the warp gate research, also chrono boosting out tons of probes, trying to catch up to LiquidRet in terms of economy. Ret already has his lair on the way, so this is going to be troublesome to deal with, especially if Ret decides to go for Mutalisks, especially because the warp gate research will only just finish, and WhiteRa doesn't really have that many production facilities, so it's really up to WhiteRa to see how he can come back in this game right now. He's not even been able to take care of the Overlord that's just been scouting his base for the past 8 minutes. The Zealots now popping out, and as well as sentries trying to Zealot popped out, and Stalkers popping out to try to clean up that Overlord. I think WhiteRa will be able to get this Overlord before it gets into the no man's land. 2 Stalkers shooting that one down, and the Overlord does fall. There it is. And the second and third gas being taken at the natural expansion. 2 additional gateways coming up for WhiteRa, gonna bring it up to a total of 4, so this is generally the same game plan as last game. As I can see from here, he has 4 gateways, getting up his Stalker sentry count. LiquidRet now gearing up to take another base, and it looks like WhiteRa is going to be changing it up. He does have a Stargate on the way. Where is it? There it is. Stargate coming up for WhiteRa. 2 Stargates for WhiteRa right now, and LiquidRet taking a far expansion down here. His Spire is just about to finish, and this could actually be really bad for LiquidRet. He is going up against a 2 Stargate Phoenix or WhiteRa build, and getting those mutas out too late could actually be really bad, because Phoenixes are pretty good against mutas, especially in small numbers. Warp Gate research is just about finished. A sentry and the Zealot will repel the attack up at the front, prevent those Zerglings from being able to run by. The Warp Gates do open, and it looks like Phoenixes are being produced by WhiteRa right now. And mutas are going to be produced in really large numbers right now. 8 mutas just hatched. They will begin their harassment shortly, but the Phoenixes are in production. So by no means was this a reactionary Phoenix, so this could be very hard to deal with. But up at the front, there's so much stuff available for Ret. He's going to be busting in with his mutas, going to be headed to the natural expansion. There are some Zealots being warped in right now. The Phoenix is trying to get in here, but there's only 2 of them against this huge number of mutas. Looks like the Phoenix is now running by, trying to pick off as many mutas as possible. The Zerglings running into the main to do some damage. More Phoenix is going to be popping out, and WhiteRa sustaining probe losses at both his main and natural expansion. Looks like the mutas are actually going to get cleaned up here shortly. A couple additional Stalkers being warped in. The Zerglings on the ground, nibbling away those Stalkers. 1 Phoenix left against 2 mutas. I think the Phoenix does win against 2 mutas, and the probe's getting pulled off the line, but WhiteRa is already in so much trouble. LiquidRet climbing to 86 food, and WhiteRa down to 44, and he's just made a couple of Phoenixes, and more drones popping out for LiquidRet right now, and the Zealots are able to deflect those Zerglings from being able to do that much more damage, but they're trying to swing around and do some additional damage over here to the probes. Mining the gas. Looks like WhiteRa is in a huge ton of trouble, especially with yet another Zergling force ready to try to bust in. Up at the front, also a Phoenix guarding overhead. A couple of Zealots inside the main trying to clean up those Zerglings. Zerglings now swinging back to the natural expansion. Looks like these probes are in trouble as well. The Phoenix coming back as well for WhiteRa. I think LiquidRet has a very strong advantage in the game, even getting Hydras out on the field right now. He's getting like every single upgrade possible. GG out of WhiteRa, and we're going to be headed to Game 3. LiquidRet now up 2-0. This is a best of 5. We'll see if WhiteRa is going to be able to come back and do an all-kill to be able to take this match. Otherwise, LiquidRet will be advancing to the semi-final.